What is going on, guys? It's Noodle House here. We are back on Danganronpa V3 Killing Harmony, and we have another murder to investigate. So let's look at the stuff now. So in dog statue used in the seance, I believe it's called the Dog God. During the seance, this wooden statue was on top of the cage. It took 4 of us to remove it. This wooden statue is pretty heavy. Keebo said it was about 175 pounds. That's the weight of 2 girls. What do you know about girls? Have you been touched by a woman besides your mother? What? I'm kidding. Anyway. If this heavy thing was on top of the cage, then Tenko wouldn't have been able to get out easily. Yeah, you're right about that. That didn't sound like you were kidding earlier. Okay. This is the white sheet we used for the seance. It was placed on top of the cage. Keebo is the one who removed it. And this cloth is pretty thick. It's similar to a window curtain, but it's completely opaque, and on the back, look, there's a bloodstain on it right around the middle of the sheet. But no hole in the fabric. No hole in the fabric, sorry, which means Tenko wasn't stabbed through the cloth. She was stabbed while underneath the cloth. Okay. Okay. This floorboard is loose. And it's the one right under Tenko. Why is this floorboard loose? It wasn't like this before, it must have come loose during the seance. Why would it come loose during the seance? A floorboard this thick and heavy wouldn't have come loose easily. Then someone must have loosened it on purpose. There's a rock next to Tenko's body. This must be... Please rest your forehead upon this stone marker I've placed here. This is the stone I brought from the courtyard. Are you sure it will still work? Certainly. It is merely needed as a marker for her forehead to rest upon. Unlike this. Tenko had her forehead on this rock hunched over. She had to make herself small to fit inside the cage. Tenko's dead body. She took her last breath crouched over like this. According to the Monokuma file, her only injury was a stab wound in her neck. This wound was fatal. This must have caused instant death. I didn't hear a scream during the seance. Oh, wait. Understood. I'll not say a word until the seance is over. Would Tenko really keep her mouth shut despite the pain? Her death might have been instant, but she couldn't have gone far before she bled out. What do you mean? You're concerned about that, right? With a wound this deep, the victim is too shocked to do anything except die. You're speaking from experience? Of course, quick deaths are my speciality. Well then, that makes sense. The real question is, what was she killed with? I don't see a murder weapon around. You're right, I don't see an obvious murder weapon. That could be a clue. This is the cage she used during the seance. It's around 3 foot high and 5 feet wide. It's a pretty large iron cage. Big enough for a person to fit inside. During the seance, Kikichi and I covered Tenko with the cage. We were supposed to remove it as well. But it was Himiko who rushed in and removed the cage first. Hey, look at this. The bloodstain on the bottom of the cage. Probably Tenko's blood, yeah?
That's true.
Yes, I imagine so. This spatter must have been made when she was killed.
What do you mean?
Which means Tenko was killed while she was inside the cage. I think you're right. Tenko went under the cage before the seance. But when the cage was lifted after the seance, she was already dead. If she was stabbed right when the cage was lifted, that would explain this bloodstain, right? Huh? Perhaps she wasn't killed during the seance, but the exact moment the cage was lifted. Is that a possibility? Okay. There's a small opening in the corner of the room. It's not big enough for a person to get through, but still. Looks like there's space under here too. Oh, hold on. I can see something below. It looks like something dropped down there. What? Something dropped down there? I should check everywhere else. Why don't we go onto the floor and see for ourselves? Right, let's do it. Okay. Candles hung on the wall, they're the only source of light in the room. There's no windows to the room, blah 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 blah. How the culprit killed Tenko in complete darkness? What, the marker stone? I reckon it's Korakio. I said things that made Tenko look suspicious, and now this. I'm sorry, Tenko.
Stop it.
Cry later. Huh?
Because.
Cry won't bring Tenko back. And if we don't investigate thoroughly, we'll die too.
Okay.
I need to find the truth and pin down the culprit for Tenko and all of us.
I guess.
You're right, Tenko would want us to figure it out so she'd have no regrets. That would be the best way to apologize. These floorboards seem a little unstable to you. They're tough to walk on. The floorboards aren't nailed down, they're just lying on top of cross pieces. That's what Gonta told me. That's probably the reason they're a little unstable. They've only been laid on top. That's why they're unstable. But the boards are fairly thick and sturdy. I can't imagine they come loose easily. But if someone wants to remove a floorboard, they could easily do so, right?
Okay.
Yes, I suppose. Okay, so...
Leave it to me.
Leave it to me. I will become the guiding light that shines on you all.
Why?
First Anji, then Tenko. Gonta's so ashamed. Why Gonta no protect friends?
Hey!
Himiko, hey Himiko, be strong Himiko. Gonta, if you shake Himiko that much, she's going to break. But she not talking. It's like Himiko not even here. She must have been really shocked over Tenko. Let's leave her be for now. Okay. Himiko.
That cannot
Why?
be.
Why did this?
Really?
Kyo, I know the murder was pretty shocking. Of course, I am shocked about that as well. But why did the seance fail? We performed all of the steps flawlessly. He seems more concerned by that than the murder. Oh, if we perform the cage child again and summon Tenko's spirit this time. Cut the crap. Just tell me what happened during the seance. Both you and Shuichi were present, right? Did she get killed during the seance?
Yes.
True. It may be best to move past what happened, to know why the seance failed. Whatever, just hurry up. At the time, in order to begin the seance, we had Tenko, the spiritual medium, position herself as a turtle within the magic circle so her head touched the marker stone. Then Shuichi and Kokichi placed the cage over Tenko. And after that I placed the white cloth over the cage. Then all four of us placed the wooden statue of the dog god atop the cage. Afterwards, we stood in the four corners of the room. Kokichi and Shuichi blew out the candles. Finally, we sang the cage child song. The seance should have been complete, but... now you mention it, I remember hearing a strange sound during the song. It is a mystery to me as well. I thought someone may have tripped, perhaps. That was a pretty loud sound coming from something there. That's a pretty loud sound for someone tripping. Perhaps Kyo knows something. And then what happened? We called out to her, but no reply came. I had Shuichi and Kokichi relight the candles. And then we removed all the items from within the magic circle in the opposite order. First, all four of us removed the dog god statue. Next, I took off the white cloth, and then... Himiko ran over to the cage, and the moment she lifted it... Then it sounds like Tenko was definitely killed during the seance. But it would not be would it not be difficult in such darkness? Besides, she was also inside the cage, yes? Then when was she killed?
Well, that's...
Yes, that is a problem.
Yes.
There is another problem. And that is, why ever did the seance fail? I simply cannot figure it out. Maybe someone moved from their corner. Did someone else sneak in here?
What's the point?
Obviously, since the sound's clearly a sham. Maki was never one to pull her punches. Okay. Can we look under the floorboards now? Okay, so I haven't finished up looking around here apparently. It's got Kokichi to speak to as well. Man, will they function? You should have made him like a transformer or something. How are you gonna say? This investigation over here, is over and shut. And so thanks to me for giving Keebo his new function. Now then, Kung Fu's killer obviously is one of you stupid assholes who signed up to these bullshit sounds in the first place. No, not necessarily. Huh, seriously? The sounds was clearly set up to lure her in and kill her. How could someone who wasn't in the room kill her?
Could it be?
So you believe Tenko was killed during the sounds? There's no other possibility, shit for brains. God, you don't even know that? It is true that Tenko was alive before the sounds began. This is the point of no return, Tenko. After this point you mustn't speak. The next time you open your mouth, it will be Anji speaking through you. Understood, I will not say a word until the sounds is over. Tenko answered Kyo, so at that point she was most certainly alive. But when the candles were relit, she had already been killed. That means she was killed in the dark, I'm positive. But what time exactly was Tenko killed after the candles were blown out? That may be an important point in this case. Can I look at the hole in the corner now? God damn it. How do I find out the time it was done?
Leave it to me.
Is that it? The floorboards have been laid on top of cross pieces, that's why I'm unstable. Okay, blah 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 blah. Oh, hang on, I only looked at the magic circle itself. It's the magic circle Kyo drew on the floor. Well, at least it was. It's been completely stomped over. I guess it was unavoidable. Was this strong with salt? Whenever I perform a seance, I always use salt. Are you feeling alright? You sound ridiculous. Ridiculous? I have performed many successful seances. Why, I've even had spirits enter my body. Shut up, I don't want to hear about your stupid delusions. Maki really doesn't beat around the bush, it's kind of refreshing actually. In any case, with all these footprints, I can't make out the original circle. We'll find out in Kyo's lab. It should be written in the Takeishi Dog Village document. Isn't that right, Kyo? He seems depressed. I suppose that makes sense. Okay, can I look in the corner now?
Hey!
Mark, you finished up investigating up here. Maybe we should check under the floor.
By the way,
Seems pretty dark down there. Shouldn't we use the light? Let's bring a candle. With Keebo's light from up here, we should be fine. Then I'll go get a candle. Remove that floorboard so we can get down.
Okay.
Okay, got it. I pulled off some of the floorboards near the hole and took the candle from Maki. Then we carefully made our way through the hole and under the floor. It's a lot more spacious than I thought. You can move pretty easily on all fours.
Okay.
Let's look around for clues. It looked pretty stupid if you found no clues after crawling around this dusty place.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So, first of all... Hey look, part of the cross piece that's parts of the floorboard is cut off.
that's true.
It's near the loose floorboard with the portion missing the same width too. And from what I can see of it,
That's true.
it wasn't cut off naturally, it was cut by someone. There must have been saws in the warehouse they could have used for that. The question is why? Another cross piece is supporting the floorboard so it might not fall for this portion is missing. So what purpose did this serve? The floorboard underneath Tenko's body is loose and the cross piece supporting it has been cut. If the culprit did all this, then why? Okay, we got this load of blood. There's a blood stain on the ground underneath the loose floorboard. It's pretty far from Tenko's blood is dripping down. It's under the same floorboard, just at different ends. Why is there blood here? Hey, the back of this floorboard has blood on it too. You're right, there's a little bit of blood on the underside of this floorboard. Did Tenko's blood spatter here when she got killed?
That's true.
I wonder, I can't really be sure yet.
Okay.
These blood stains here are completely dry. There must be some reason particularly stains dry. This is a fucking long-ass investigation. Blood dripped down from the gaps in the floorboard. Fresh blood. This is definitely Tenko's. There's a sickle here. There's blood all over it. The blood in the sickle is fresh. This is it. This is the murder weapon. This came from my research lab. It did? The sickle can be used to assassinate a target. It can be thrown without losing any lethality, and you can hide under your clothes too. If she was attacked with this, she wouldn't stand a chance. The blade's almost 6 inches. And since Tenko was in the cage, she wouldn't have been able to defend herself. Even if this is our murder weapon, how did the culprit attack Tenko in the cage? The blade couldn't fit through the gaps in the cage, but it could reach her neck. The cage is 3 feet high. If you're able to stab into it with a 6-inch blade, well, it would depend on Tenko's posture. I don't think it's impossible. In her position, posture is the question. Hey, if the weapon is down here, the culprit must have thrown it away, right?
That's true.
Perhaps after killing Tenko, the culprit threw the sickle under the floor in the dark. Or they could have been under the floor the entire time. Either of those is possible. Okay. So they came from a different room. Some of the wood has been corroded and broken off, so you can see into the next room. This is the wall of the empty room, right? Looks like there's wood along the wall. This part is rotted away. It looks like natural rot. This hole isn't made intentionally, but I can get into the next room through here.
That's true.
If I remember correctly, the room next door is almost empty, right? Then the culprit couldn't have gone far from room to room by moving under here instead of using the hallway.
No.
True, but I guess it would have been difficult moving around under the floor. We did alright because we had a light. Without that, it'd be pitch black. That might be impossible to move around under here.
Nope.
Then they could have used the light, like we're doing right now. True. They used the light to move around under the floor. Is that possible? I think we're done investigating here.
Is that alright?
Marky, you want to head back? Glad you are. So starting to be fed up with all this dust. After Marky and I crawled out from under the floor, we put the floorboards back and returned to our investigation.
By the way,
You've only been investigating this room. You sure that's wise? What do you mean?
because
If Archie and Tenko are different killers, then the blackened would need to vote for is
Right.
the culprit from the first murder, the culprit who killed Anji. That's what Monokuma said.
then
So instead of investigating Tenko's death, shouldn't we be investigating Anji's?
Okay.
Yeah, of course.
But
But this is bigger than killing game. For the sake of the two who died, I need to reveal the truth of both their deaths. I understand why you feel that way. But if you plan on investigating the other crime scene again, we should probably hurry. Okay. I'm going to end this episode here. If you like this video, oh god. When I came into the hallway, a scene more surprising than I could ever imagine unfolded. Maybe I'm not going to end it here. What?
it's a lie.
I was going to say. What prick? Did I surprise you? Were you going to scream and cry in terror? What are you doing? Oh, sorry, I'm just a little lightheaded from the blood loss. Yeah, this is real blood.
Why?
Okay, so what are you doing? I was curious about something, so I decided to search the empty room next door. Then suddenly, I stepped through the floorboard. You stepped through the floorboard? Jeez, that got me good. Because of this, I tripped and fell pretty hard.
got a minute?
If you're gonna lose consciousness, do it after you tell us everything. Oh, sorry, my bad. I guess there was no crosspiece supporting this floorboard, so I kind of stepped through. What bad luck. Crosspiece was gone? Does that mean...
Huh?
Confidence, dreams. That's what the Killing Game is all about. Killing Game fans, hold your head high and watch with your own 2 eyes. Baseball, soccer, mobile games, they're all nothing compared to the Killing Game. The Killing Game just can't be beat. Behold, students, the entrance to the trial grounds.
I guess time's up. Oh man, it's because you guys didn't have time to check something. What are you trying to check?
See?
I wanted to re-research the seance again, so I brought this document with me. But unfortunately, I couldn't find anything new that could be used as a clue. Keebo perfectly reenacted the seance as what was written in the document. He drew his magic circle the exact same way as in the picture. Not only that, he used the same exact tools too. Nothing suspicious about this, the whole thing. Well, I wanted to check the finer details, but I'll tell you about that later. The class trial, so see you there. Kichi left, the blood loss clearly affecting his footing a bit. Let's go to 2.
That's true.
Yeah, okay. Is Maki nervous? I see, so even she gets nervous sometimes. What are you staring at? Do you want to die? Well, I'm going to end the episode here now. If you liked this video, don't forget to leave a like in the section below. And if you want to see more of this, then do subscribe to the channel, as I upload every day. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.